Alright, welcome back to Terra Invicta. I haven't advanced time since the last episode. I've just gone around and done some house cleaning. A couple of things, just to summarise. The first thing is I've gone around to all of our major nations and adjusted their priorities. Basically, my way of thinking in this game is that usually, if you want your nation to be doing well, so if you care about its long-term future, you probably need to spend somewhere between 60 and 70% of its priorities just keeping the economy and welfare and knowledge sort of ticking along, and then you can pick like one, maybe two other things for the nation to do. So I've given each nation sort of a priority. For the United States, it's going to be mission control and military. It's finally got up to 5.1, which is a pretty good cohesion, so I don't need to be spending much on unity anymore. In fact, I'm going to make that 0%. For Canada, it's mission control, so economy, welfare, knowledge, mission control, because Canada doesn't have too many problems. Europe, it's unity in order to get this fractured back up towards 5.0. Russia, I'm just focusing on keeping the nation alive because you can't control the priorities of the CPs you don't control, and they're spending an awful lot on things like military and building armies and building navies. So in order to just keep the Russian economy running, I'm going to have to use all of my CPs, basically keeping things alive. Similar approach down in Australia. I'm going to finish I'm sort of recovering from the fact that it's a servant nation. Don't need any unity. What I am going to do is get the spaceflight program finished, which will allow Australia to also invest in things like mission control, because that's what I'm going to need in order to go absolutely ham on bases on Mars. The other thing I've done is I've fired one of my councillors. They're gone. I've replaced them with a new one from my patron list, Bonza Bunny. Bonza is an astronaut who's going to be very useful going into the future. He's a high command character, just like our previous rebel was. The difference is he can do things like controlling nations and public campaign, so he's useful in terms of that sort of political stuff as well as the rebel stuff. He can't do coup d'etats, but he can still do assaulting assets, stabilizing nations, and he can inspire others. So he's much more multi-purpose and, of course, very well geared for going into space. He's also got some pretty good traits. He's government. He's a media darling, which means he's got +3 persuasion in nations with at least 6 democracies, so this 4 becomes 7, which makes him sort of reasonable. And then he's got this built-in science income and +15% military science research speed. Astronauts are a pretty good class in general. The only thing he's really missing is coup d'etat, which would be really good given his command score, but I'm happy swapping out that councillor there. I've been reading a lot of comments, episode 1, 2, 3, and people have basically told me to go wild on how far I can go in the demo, but they've given me 2 specific objectives. The first is colonize the shit out of Mars, and the second thing is they want to see me not just build some tin can spaceships, they want to see me actually shoot down an alien vessel, preferably, using the technology and time available in the demo. So there we are. I like having a couple of challenge objectives because unlike a lot of the people, I think a lot of the streams that are out there at the moment are focused on learning the game with people who haven't been around it that much. I've taken a few passes at it, so I may as well do the power gaming version. At least as far as you can power game on a demo of a game that has only just come out.
Securing our
So I'm going to roll through here. We should be finishing industrialization of space any day, and hopefully as soon as possible. Here we are.
Than sitting around on your backsides waiting for supplies from home. If you don't know how to use what
I love the Hans Castillo quads. They're very, very good. Anyway, so this unlocks, eventually, construction module, maintenance procedures, devolve space command. All of them are useful. The other thing we're going to need, so if we look at our tech tree here, people have told me they want me to go to Mars, which I've done. I may even do missions to asteroids, for which I would need deep space propulsion concepts, which is something we should pick up. In fact, that might be good because we want to go to pulse drives. Pulse drives are going to be necessary in order to power the sort of ships that I want. So basically, we'll look at ship design this episode, but the sort of technology you have at GameStart is human standard technology. It's chemical rockets, and chemical rockets suck. They're terrible. We use them because we've got a taboo on nuclear propulsion, but the fact is, if you're going to go anywhere in space beyond Mars, maybe, and even then it's a bit of a risk. More importantly, if you're going to go anywhere at all with a lot of extra weight, like guns and armor and ammo, you're probably going to need something that isn't a chemical reaction rocket. So we're going to start researching deep space propulsion, I think, and then we're also going to need maybe some armor and some weapons to put on it that aren't complete trash. I'm also thinking at some point we might want to get these T2 HABs and orbitals, but those require Ad Astra, which is in research anyway. So is deep space propulsion concepts. Let's grab deep space propulsion concepts at 2 priority, alien origin at 1. I'm putting 2/3 of my research into global research at the moment, which, yes, is not giving me much advantage across the board. I'll swap once I have like construction modules or things, but if we're on the clock for the demo, I want to push the global technology as fast as it'll go, rather than sort of hoarding research for myself, if that makes sense. Sanctions. US can sanction China. This will hurt China, or I can do nothing, which will make China better. I don't see an inherent reason to hurt China, other than someone else might take it over. And because I'm unlikely to invade it, because I'm not roomy down under gaming, and if I do invade it, I'm going to show you a technique for invading nuclear nations if you absolutely have to. China only has 3 nukes, but each nuke is going to basically instantly destroy an army if you try and attack them. Nations in this game fire a nuke at you either when they're not controlled by a faction. Some factions like nukes, some factions don't, but when they're not controlled, or for most factions, they'll nuke you if either A, you put an army in their territory and they can't reasonably stop it, they'll nuke it, or 2, every time you fire 1 nuke at them, they'll fire 1 nuke back. Those are the general rules. We are going to impose the sanctions just to weaken anyone who takes over China. This very high inequality should start to break down some of its resistance. Improved maintenance procedures is great. Devolved Space Command is 2 free mission control. So it's unlocked the 2 projects that I don't want. I want construction modules. Ouch, but it's better than losing opinion in the United States. 1st Infantry Division has arrived in the US. What I think we have to do is, because I was looking in the break, is Iran is very close to getting nuclear weapons, and it's under the control of the servants. And I like to play a little bit of servant whack-a-mole to make sure that they never get their hands on nuclear weapons, because alien lovers with nukes is just a recipe for disaster. So what we're going to do is rally up our armies, and then I think we're going to take the United States to war with Iran and install a new friendly government, because nuclear weapons in the hands of these guys is bad. If it was like Project Exodus, no objection. But those guys, they'd be crazy. So that's what I am going to do. The European Union is stabilizing. I'm really annoyed that the Slovaks are just kind of busy with their human supremacy, not wanting to be part of the federal project. It's them, the Norwegians, and the Portuguese and the Finns are really the last steps, but I think Iran is more urgent. So there we are. Platform Core LEO1 is done, so that means this station should now be complete. It's now giving us a +2 detection bonus to any aliens on Earth. That's helpful. A 20% acceleration on our xenology research, and 10 research a month. That said, we're getting 1,600, so a bit of a drop in the bucket sort of situation. Okay, confirm assignments. So what we're going to want to do, I've got inspiration happening around the place. I think what I want to do is start inventorying my counselors to see who needs what level of improved loyalty. So let's go start by looking at Dawn. Let's have Dawn declare send the declaration of war to Iran before it's too late. Antonella, she can probably keep doing public campaigns. Now, because we're doing Unity in the EU, public opinion is going to keep going up. So what Unity does is doesn't just improve this cohesion number. It also improves popularity of the faction that holds CPs as you use the apparatus of the state in order to win people over. It's basically the propaganda button. And because we control all 6 CPs and we're running heaps of Unity, we're just destroying everyone else in terms of popularity. Like, there is no diversity of popular opinion. Society is fractured, but at least they all support us. So in terms of where we want to do public support, it's going to either be Iran itself, or we're going to keep working on Finland, because we can't just invade Finland. One of the reasons why I was happy getting rid of my coup person is because now that we have now that we have the United States, what do they finish? Advanced carbon manipulation, that's good. Now that we have the United States, we have the US military, and the US military is our beat stick, and there's no reason to stage coup d'etats. Oh, Dawn Atkins is already at 25 loyalty. Fantastic.
Prepping for mission.
So we don't need to inspire her anymore, so we'll inspect Rowena next probably and see if she needs inspiration. That's awesome.
Public sentiment is increasingly with
We'll repeat
us.
that. Now, I'm pretty sure Iran is allied with Turkey. We will see if Turkey joins the war. Some of my divisions are pretty beat up, but that's okay. Am I not rivals with Iran? I know what it is. Okay, so people sometimes get confused as to why they cannot declare war. It's pretty simple. You cannot declare war on someone if you have mutual allies. I'm pretty sure in this case there's an alliance chain that is the problem. So Iran is allied with Turkey. Turkey is allied with the United States. So I've wasted my turn. That's okay. I'll do it again next turn. All I need to do this is remove the United States alliance with Turkey, which makes sense because we're probably going to want to do a regime change in Turkey
Of course,
anyway.
there was an accident. Frankly,
Cool, we
I'm
finished
surprised
deep
it
space
took this
propulsion.
long. Just get the recovery crew in there to salvage the gear ASAP.
Van Wyck is he's brutal, man. He just wants to make money. Okay, so what do we need? We've got deep space propulsion concepts, and we're focusing. We want fission pulse drives. We want solid core. So I want electromag or nuclear fission in space. I think nuclear fission in space because we're going to need that on Mars. As I said, the further you get out from the sun, the less effective solar generation is, the more we need to rely on nuclear reactors. The whole reason we went to the moon was to mine fissiles, which we can use, and one of the things we're going to use them for is to fuel our reactors on Mars. Okay. So, because she's a criminal, she's been asked for a favor from old contacts, so we can either say nothing, 25% of assassination, nope. Smuggle, that damages the US really badly, so no. Kind of don't want that either. I kind of want the heist, even though she's probably going to get detained. Yeah, she's detained. But at least there was nothing that could go wrong there, in the sense that even though she's delayed for 4 turns, I don't really mind.
Where to?
So Rowena has now been
for orders.
captured. Let's have Mr. Bunny start inspiring our journalist for 1 turn.
I'm here.
Our journalist can tell us how loyal Antonella is, because she's another candidate.
Standing by. At your
Ooh,
service.
who can you steal projects from? Just Exodus, I don't care. You can stay with your original objective. There we are. Investigate alien activity.
Ready to go.
Rowena's locked up.
Ready for my mission.
And Dawn can continue stabilizing the European Union.
Ready for my
Actually,
mission.
no, sorry. Dawn is declaring war on Iran successfully this time because we remembered to
Blending
remove
my
our alliance
expertise.
from Turkey.
What's
What
the
this is
op?
probably going to mean is Turkey may decide to join, in which case we do have 2 armies from, one from the EU, one from the United States in this position. We've got another European army returning home, so we may not be immediately able to crush them with no resistance, but we'll consolidate these armies, that'll be fine. Meanwhile, there are some US forces that we can redeploy to take Iran. We just want to use overwhelming force. We might even invade Turkey before we invade Iran.
Offering counsel.
Damn it, I suck at this. I advised, instead of declaring war. I really hope Iran doesn't get nuclear weapons because I suck at pressing the right buttons. Where are they at? 70.4. I just hope they don't make a last-minute sprint to them because they're now at the point where they could do it in about a month.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
A little bit nervous now. Let me just check that, no, I still don't have construction module.
We have found something.
Okay, so we've got additional mines up on the moon now, so new resource income levels, very, very small income of volatiles because of the increased upkeep, but we have a good fissiles income now. Water is running at about 12.7. It's not great, but it might be enough to speed up some of our construction work on Mars. Is anyone else mining yet? No, they've just put their hab cores down. But we're not going to put any more there, we're going to Mars. First guards, second guards. Okay, Australia has initiated a spaceflight program. Australia, we don't want Australia building boost, we just want it building mission control so that we can support more stations. In fact, I will put 20% of Australia's economy into mission control. Okay, Dawn. Set national policy,
On my way
United
to the
States,
capital.
okay?
Ready for orders.
Ready to go.
And Leonardo, tell me how loyal
We'll see what
Antonella
they are.
is.
Reporting in.
I believe they'll stay loyal to the cause.
Now we can do construction module. What we're going to do is we're going to put construction module here. Where is it? There it is. And we're going to do pretty much maximum research on that. We'll need nuclear fission in space, but I want construction module first because we're going to need to launch that basically into orbit of Mars.
Person of interest surveilled.
Okay, 21. So she needs needs 3-4 more inspires, and then she's basically fully
We're
protected.
winning their hearts and minds.
We might also,
Policy direction complete.
so we declare war on Iran. Turkey has joined. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to bring the Russians in to help. I know it's strange to say, but we can bring the Russian army in to assist. We'll group all the European armies up in Kyiv. And then we'll move on Turkey. And then the United States, I think, amphibious assault on Iran. Basically, so they don't get nuclear weapons before we're able to effect regime change. If someone jokes about the fact that I am invading a Middle Eastern state because I am claiming they have weapons of mass destruction, you are completely right. Make all of the fodder out of it that you wish, but in we go. Also, picking up Iran will give us a little bit of MC and boost. I'm not sure we'll be able to maintain them because we're already well over our nation cap, but you know, it is what it is.
Acknowledged.
Okay. You can try and steal something from the servants, but you're very unlikely to actually do so. Yeah, you're not great, and I don't want to spend all my ops on like a tiny chance of you doing so. Instead, we're going to continue inventorying our councillors. So we know Dawn is loyal. Let's investigate Rowena and find out what her loyalty actually is. And Dawn, you've basically got the EU pacified, but just finish that off.
I think we had a breakthrough.
So we'll do 2 more of those, and then that councillor should be good. First guards catch up with the Europeans. Russian armies may be a little bit behind in terms of tech, but they're still pretty good. What's Turkey at? 3.8. Rowena's at 24, so Rowena only needs 1. Okay, we've completed construction module. We'll research alien operations, but we'll dial it down to 1 priority and this back up to 3. That'll still get it done by next month because we're starting to get a bit of a bonus on
The
xenology.
people will come to our side.
Fantastic. Alright, Finland may be in play
Violence
soon.
is abating.
3rd Infantry has arrived in Kyiv. Okay, so we're basically building up 2 armies here. 1 to fight Turkey, 1 to fight Iran. First Guards Tank Army. Considerably better shape than it is in real life. Once they arrive, we'll just move this death ball. Actually, we'll only be able to move the amphibious armies in unless we want to go the long way round, which we might do. Turkey, we're not in as much of a hurry as we are with Iran. This says there's an undefended point in Saudi Arabia, but I don't want to pick another fight with... I don't want to pick a fight with humanity first at all.
Ready to
Not
go.
a chance.
What's the op?
And then the last councillor for us to inspect is Bonza. Because we know Antonella is basically loyal. Let's find out
Tracking
about
target.
Mr. Bunny.
Standing by.
I believe they'll stay loyal to the cause.
One more, and then we get to switch to Mr. Bunny. Okay, this whole army. I think what we're going to do... I think we take the long way round. I think we go the long way round and go attack the Turks that way. It's mountainous terrain. I don't want to mess around with it. We might even be done with the guys that are in Iran first. Okay, 16. So he's going to need like 10 inspires to get up to 25. I just don't want any of my councillors to leave, basically. They're at 71 progress. 71.4 progress. But I'm pretty sure the United States will smack pretty bad. Oh, someone's coming after Australia. That's unfortunate. And I didn't have defend interest down. I should just start putting defend interest down. So at the start of the game, defending interest isn't that important because everyone's focused on taking free space. But now that everything's a bit open, I should probably put it down on my stuff because they've got more actions available to go take stuff from other people. Okay. Keep walking the wrong way around. I think because Bulgaria is not allied with the Eurasian Union, I won't be able to walk through Bulgaria with everyone. Okay, nuclear fission in space is done. I'm just powering through these critical techs. I want solid core fission systems, probably. What does that give me? It's going to lead towards fission pulse drives, which I really want. I don't think... I could also go electromagnetic propulsion if I want to get vehicle mass drivers. That's another option. It's also required for fission pulse. But I think solid core fission systems is the go. That'll be done by March. Okay, probe arrives on Mars. Fantastic. And we just finished construction modules. So what we want to do is look at these sites. So this one here stands out as pretty good. 136 water is a good amount, 9.7 fissiles. It's a bit weak on metals and it has no metal income, but it's got a bit of that. So we want to claim a couple of sites here. We're at plus 20% boost, which is a problem. And it's going to take about a year for our stuff to get there. And I don't think we've got fission piles in place. So we've got a choice. We can launch our stuff now, and it will take a while. It's still faster than launching it, getting a construction module in place. So we might just want to blow a whole bunch of boost and fire off our stuff now. So let's start founding outposts. Let's go to Arcadia Planitia first, and then I really need some nobles in. Oh, look at this, Olympus Mons, 33 nobles, 110 standard, 42. It sucks on water, but it's got fissiles, so let's grab these two. Let's grab Acacia Planitia, and let's grab at least Olympus Mons. We'll rename these in a moment. It costs, so build in space. It'll cost a lot of our resources here. How much energy is it going to need? It's going to require 9 power to run, and solar collectors only generate 3 power on Mars. So if we launch this, we're going to need to fire 3 solar collectors to power it. This is why you probably want fission power on Mars, because we won't be able to, for example, add a construction module, which is what I really wanted to do, because that takes 10 power itself. So until we have fission, we're shooting stuff from Earth. What a construction module will let us do is it'll lower the construction time a lot by allowing us to build things in situ. So the construction time will be like 90 days rather than 370 days. But let's launch the outpost mining complex here, and then let's launch. How am I doing on those resources? 3.8, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1. I think I'm going to launch 1 from Earth and 2 from space. So that's 369 power. That's going to take 9 power. Outpost core. Okay, we're good. That'll take us up to That's 2 MC right there, one of which is already counting. So let's rename this MAR 1. And what's our other one here? This is MAR 2. Again, see, we're having used more boost because we're running out of resources to supply, so we have to lift things from Earth instead. But we're still in a pretty good place. We'll launch... We may as well just launch our 3 solar collectors like this. So we've gone down to 31 boost. I don't know if we quite have enough for another one, and what we really want to be able to launch is a construction module. But to do that, we need to wait for the fission pile thing to unlock. It should do that quickly, and then we'll be able to launch a 3rd outpost. So we might as well found that outpost. But because it's going to be able to generate more power, it'll be able to power both a mine and a construction module. I'm liking here, Acidalia planitia. This is so much water that it basically reminds me of Ceres. There's one down here which has pretty good volatiles, a little bit more nobles. So the question is, do I want the extra water or do I want the extra volatiles, metals, and nobles? Water is really heavy and you're going to need a lot of it, so I'm kind of tempted to take one of these. I'm going to take lots of Martian sites, like as many of these as I can. The AI is going to come after them is the only thing. Okay, it's going to take 10 to launch one from Earth. Let's launch to, I want the water, so Acidalia planitia. We could afford to launch this stuff, but it's much more efficient to launch fission piles, and we got fissiles in orbit. We could even found another base. It's going to slow down how quickly we can build more in place, but maybe we want to claim one more site, which would be either Utopia planitia, nice Star Trek there, or down here. There's some really good sites here. Mars is just so much better than the Moon. The problem is it takes a while to get to, because it'll be 2025. So 3 years into a 7-year demo before we're seriously yielding resources from Mars. I'm kind of liking this one. Because if we can block other people out of a whole bunch of nobles' income, that's also pretty cool. Base metals is also problematic, but we're going to have so much coming in from Olympus Mons. Look, I'm going to claim a lot of stuff anyway, so Argai planitia, let's claim it. We won't even name those stations yet.
We'll be ready for new orders soon.
Okay, Mars 1 has just had a basic module destroyed. That's awful. So what it's done is one of the solar collectors that was in construction there has been damaged. So I have to spend even more boost to replace that because it was instantly hit by space debris. Okay, the Iranian army has been destroyed. I expected nothing less of the full cohered might of the United States. Hopefully they'll occupy Tehran, throw them out before they can finish their nukes.
Where to?
Now if I can hurry up and generate more boost, that would be great. Rowena is happy to be out of her cell. I'm not surprised. We'll just keep getting the EU down to fine. And what Rowena is going to do is, while Bonza is inspiring everyone else, Rowena is going to inspire Bonza.
Their loyalty.
And this is why you need at least
we had a breakthrough.
one more there. At least you need at least 2 councillors with Inspire so you can cover your entire team, because someone can't inspire themselves. They can't just sit in a room and say mantras until they feel better about life. Iran is conquered and we've got alien operations researched, so the situation is worse than we feared. Countries with high abduction rates are now showing aberrant political trends, rapid swings in pro-alien views, concentrated by geography, spread in a way that resemble infectious diseases. Sharp shifts in policies, abruptly changing their belief, making conciliatory views towards the alien presence. Sudden and uncharacteristic behavioral changes. Disinterested in any issues other than human-alien relations. Well, this isn't suspicious at all. Our present guesses are the aliens are capable of mind control, a parasite or some form of technology, or they're replacing abductees either directly or directly via clones. So we now need to research alien movement, and we need to set our goals. We're able to complete this. So what is available for us to do now? I thought I saw Freedom Fighters become available. Complete the Freedom Fighters project. I'm not seeing Freedom Fighters. Oh, here it is. Marginally increases our capacity to manage control points. This is actually a pretty good tech because it also unlocks some nice stuff. So I'm actually going to slow this one down to 22 March in order to get this one by 26 February. A bit of a concession, I know. I might compromise. No, that's fine.
People will come to our side.
3rd Infantry is deployed to Belgrade, so the army should all again group up.
We were unable to increase security.
I don't want global listening network right now. So those armies are all done. Iran is finished. Turkey is still at war with... Oh, Turkey is not at war with the European Union because the European Union is allied with them. Okay, so I'm going to be able to use the Americans, but I'm not going to be able to use the Russians. And the Turks have moved their army here. Well, I guess we... Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant to take the American armies and move the American armies into Turkey. These are all Europeans and Americans, right? So if we cancel those operations, we can move all of those armies there, and we can create basically a giant death ball. Awesome. Once the Europeans move out, what the Russians can do is move down here in case we need to bring them in from the other side. Project Exodus has failed the Purge mission. That's okay.
Earliest days, we have
Great, Ad Astra, which allows orbital and settlement hubs, so that's a critical tech in terms of unlocking the T2 settlements. We're up to 16 boosts, so I may launch more stuff. I just really want those fission modules first. Let's see who can do defend interests. Okay, Dawn, you can do defend interests. Let's start with the stuff that is vulnerable.
Reporting in.
Which it means starting with Australia, with Russia, with Canada, and working our way up to the superpowers, because those are pretty safe just by virtue of their, like, size.
Securing our interests. I think we had a breakthrough.
Making things safe for our people.
I believe they'll stay loyal.
I think it's one more on Leonardo. If we don't get the fission pile soon... Oh, great. The Pope has endorsed the appeasers. Awesome. It's okay. We've been using Unity so much it's probably protecting us so far. So hopefully the Americans will now destroy the Turkish army here, and then we'll move on to the capital. Publicize the alien threat is available. That's not our priority. People want me to build spaceships and shoot aliens. Europeans are starting to arrive here. Okay, so both the Americans and the Europeans are occupying this province, but we don't need it. What we need is the capital, Ankara, to install a new government. Okay, Exodus. There we go, fission pile. Okay, so we're going to swap this temporarily for fission pile, and 100% of my research is going to get that done in 9 days. Awesome. Okay, so now we need to protect some more nations. Let's protect Mexico.
Ready.
We lost one in Australia, which is annoying. Let's defend
Securing
Russia.
our interests.
I don't know if I can use the disarm warheads to end a nuclear weapons program. I think I might just have to protect Iran for a while.
Securing our control. I believe they'll stay loyal to
Bonds
the
is going to
cause.
need to be inspired for a
Securing our
while,
control.
but Bonza can stop
We are-
I
inspiring
think we had
people.
a breakthrough.
Safe culture. means
The
you're
Institute has
poor,
researched
but you
space
got
tourism.
stuff.
Space tourism is a
But
way
we
to
want this
build
thing to make
hotels
money.
in space, and it's a way to basically turn boost into cash. You can build modules that have boost upkeep that generate significant amounts of cash and a little bit of influence. I don't think we're going to need the Russians, so we can send them home.
Violence is abating.
Okay, we have completed the fission pile project, so we can go back to researching alien origin here, but we're not actually going to prioritize it. We're going to instead go 2 for solid core fission systems and 1 for freedom fighters. Actually, no, our ratio was 3-2, wasn't it? Yep. Cool, and now that we've got that, let's go to Mars. Let's go to Weijin base. That is in fact Mar 3, because we're using normal letters on Mars. What we need here is an outpost mining complex, which takes 10 power. Then we need 2 fission piles, 1 to power the mine. And how much do we need to launch the construction module? We're going to need 5.6 boost to launch a construction module, and then at least we have a commitment that in 1 year, Mars will have resources on it to start building itself. Construction modules can build everywhere on the planet, or I believe in interface orbit. The fact that you can build them on stations also means that before you have sent a prospector probe, you can launch a station so that the construction module arrives quicker than waiting to actually have to boost out a base. Okay, so the Americans have arrived in Ankara. We're going to liberate Turkey. I'm going to be a little too far over my cap here, and I'm nowhere near the technology which gives claims on Turkey to Europe, so I might end up having to release Turkey, and I'll show you how that works.
What's the up?
There's basically a button you can press which says, I don't want to pay upkeep on this nation, so please let it go.
Protecting
We'll defend
our
interests of the
interests.
United States.
Ready for orders.
What's the up?
We will defend interest Iran.
Securing our interests.
Where to?
And Bonza, you can help with the
We'll make things
stabilization.
safe.
I just want the EU to be stable.
Protecting our interests. I think we had a breakthrough.
Making
So I think
things
all
safe
of our
for
main nations
people.
are now protected. Regime change in Turkey, fantastic. So what we can do now is we can just send all these armies home. And as you can see, because America starts with so many navies, you can go over and just do regime changes everywhere. Now, does this mean the nation is stable? No, it makes it less stable, it damages the economy, whatever. But if all you want to do, just like a coup, is throw the servants out, that's fine. I don't think, you can see I've just gone negative now because Turkey costs so much to maintain. Let's just say I don't want Turkey. You hit abandon nation. You're going to keep these points, but you're basically cracking yourself down. You're no longer paying upkeep on these, so you can see my income has gone positive again, but these are going to be really easy for someone else to take
Order
from
is
me.
returning.
I'm happy if anyone who isn't the servants takes these. If the servants takes them, I'll invade again and abandon again until someone who isn't the servants takes them. Solid core fission systems will be done 30 March. This will be done 6 March. Alright, I'm feeling okay. We've just entered 2025. So we're not halfway through, but we're doing okay. So I think the next thing I want to do is
Standing by.
preferably...
Standing by for orders.
Where do you need me? I'm here.
Standing by for
I
orders.
don't have a good
Your
purger
orders.
at the moment. So I'll need to get either get someone with the
Ready for
purge
orders.
mission by swapping someone else out,
Acknowledged.
or I'll need to level Antonella up to be good at purging, because that's going to be the way that I have to break into Finland. I know Finland's not a serious problem, I just would like it to complete the set, so to speak. The other thing I could do... Well, that's a bit of a gamey move. Alright, do we like gamey moves? I control Russia and I control the European Union. I can declare war on Finland, which will bring in the European Union. It'll bring in Yeah, it'll bring in the European Union and the United States. I can agree to join the war as Europe and the United States and then do absolutely nothing. Let Russia take Finland and then give Finland from Russia to the European Union. That might be what I do. Is it gamey? Yes, but you know, I'm trying to save the planet. America's doing fine. Let's stabilize Mexico just a bit.
At your service.
America's
I'm
public
here.
America's public opinion has
Reporting
gone way
in.
down. So Bonza, let's get some public campaigns going in the
must
United
persuade
States.
I'm here.
Dawn, you can do the stabilization job in
We'll
Mexico.
take that lead.
Their loyalty remains questionable.
I think 2 armies is going to be enough to take Finland.
Violence is abating.
It's going to be
Public
difficult.
sentiment is increasingly with us.
Public opinion is moving
Finland's
in
probably
our
got a pretty
direction.
strong defense, and I'm
Order
pretty sure the
to
terrain there is also going to be rough. But that's okay. I'm also interested to see who takes Turkey. Oh, First Guards is airlifting home, of course. Damn it, the servants are taking Turkey. Hopefully someone else gets drawn to the flame here. Because I don't just want to have to re-invade Turkey again. Be sort of like a it's that time of the week kind of deal. Okay, I'm happy with what everyone's doing. They're saying they have open control slots in China. I'm aware of that, but dear God, if I try and go into China, my upkeep is going to disappear, and even then I'm not sure my odds are that good. Ideally, someone else that isn't the servants will go into China, so knowing my luck, it will probably be the servants
I
going
believe
into
they'll
China.
stay loyal to the cause.
What I kind of want is also for more mission control to be completed. Turkey has completed... Oh, of course. The servants took control and, of course, instantly... So I'm just going to take all that away. They're putting money into nuclear weapons again, but only 1% of the budget's going into nukes, and they need 80 in order to unlock them, so I'm pretty sure we're okay. It's just, if they take all the slots again, that's going to be a bit annoying. Again, we'll pay our ops tax in order to help the United States with its wildfires. Composite armor, I'm not in a rush
Things
to
are
get.
stabilizing.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
The people will
Just
come
start
to our
winning
side.
Americans over again.
Violence
Great.
is
Europe is
abating.
stabilized. Perfect. So Europe's producing 697 research. And we got America up to 575. So our research income is fantastic. 1.6, like 53 a day, I think, is more than double what the next faction in the game is preparing. Now, are we using all of it in order to do global research? We're using most of it. That's okay. But we're getting credit for it, and more importantly, we're just generating more. These nations are more productive than they were at the start of the game. I'm upping education level, I'm lowering dissent, I'm doing everything I can to maximize research output. So First Guards tank army has arrived in St. Petersburg. Just keep driving 20th Guards north. Eventually we're going to use them on Finland. Saudi Arabia is asking its ally, the United States, to join the attack on Yemen. Who are you attacking? Sure. The Academy is basically invading Yemen, and okay. So the Americans are going to get home. They're going to refurb their units, and then I'm going to tell them, like, guys, you're going back to Turkey. Because the new government has kicked out the new government that we put in, and the new government is the same as the old government. So you're going to go replace them with the new government again, who we are also not going to defend or support in any way, which means you're probably going to have to invade Turkey again. It's just going to be, it's 12 o'clock on a Monday, it's time to invade Turkey. I also don't like this alien activity in the EU. If that's xenoforming, I'm going to be very annoyed. I don't want to have to clean up more xenoforming. So the Americans and the French have arrived home. I'm going to keep the Americans on the coast. So we've done set our goals. So, yes, we exist to keep Earth safe from the aliens. Debate, blah, blah, blah. Our plan is not only to put an end to this invasion, but to remove humanity from the alien sphere of influence entirely. Our work has spun off a new organization, the Special Activities section, which is now in our faction pool. So we get 100 influence, and we get this event, set our goals. Every faction, I understand, is going to have different goals, or different set our goals. And this is sort of like what I imagine is probably going to be the branching, but, you know, we'll see. So under the alien invasion, our world is fractured. Some part of blah, blah, blah. Others decide the only path is to destroy the alien. Common theme we hear from all of them is a conviction the old ways will not work, that to withstand the crisis, humanity must change and become something new. And here's where the resistance defines itself as sort of like the centrist, the middle road. We have chosen to reject this belief. We do not believe that humanity must become xenophobic, nor do we agree that we should sacrifice our lives to befriend a race of ruthless aliens. We do not think that human society needs to be remolded around corporations, nor does it need to become a totalitarian world government. We just want to be left the hell alone and go back to living sane, normal lives in home countries without the constant threat of alien invasions or coups or attempts at world conquest. The other factions may disagree on almost everything, but in one important respect they are all the same. They're all lunatics with delusions of grandeur who think they know better than everyone else. So that's our decision. Our goal is not to change the world. Our goal is to stop the invasion. Human society will be transformed, but the nature of that transformation is a matter for individual countries to choose for themselves. If we can protect the world and preserve our independence, that's enough. So that's who you are. You're basically like, you want to stop the aliens interfering on the planet, but you have no defined idea of what the future of planet Earth should be. Everyone else has a view of what humanity should look like after this conflict. You're like, as the resistance, you're like, I don't know, let nations decide for themselves the way they always have. So what are we going to research next? I'm just going to add alien flora here, but deprioritize it and add alien origin here, and I'm going to show you our new organization. So, you go here to unassigned orgs, special activities section. It's awesome. It gives you +4 ops, +5 influence, 20 science, and then huge stat boosts. Investigation, espionage, command, 3 administration, so it pays for itself, so you can equip it even if you can't administer anything else. Science, security, but the key here is that it gives you 10 command, as well as a bunch of research bonuses. So what I think we're going to want to do is we're going to want to attach this to Bonza to take him up to 18 commands, so he is fantastic. Now, if only I could find someone that lets him coup, or get another person who lets us coup, that would be great. Oh, there is a Teleman agency here, a space mining bonus of 9%. That's handy. There's also a +6 admin org for -20 a month here. That could be a nice temporary measure, as long as I remember to get rid of it later. So where's our crime boss? Because our crime boss is hankering for more criminal organizations. So we'll pay 20 to do that, but we can pick up these mafias that will more than pay for it. That gives coup d'etat, but I'm pretty sure our astronaut can't take criminal because he's already government. What we could instead do is we could give our criminal our +10 command, which will lift her up to 11, and we could get her to the point where she's doing coups and things. Los Zetas is good. Please don't judge. This is like a conspiracy, right? It's like the Russian mafia, the Hong Kong triads, Los Zetas, these cartels, they all answer to the same person, alright? Could bring in the Azeri Mafia, Circus Organization. Phoenix Syndicate is the one we need to unlock coup d'etats. So we could give her one more administration point, add the Phoenix Syndicate. This gives her... oh, she already had the ability to coup d'etat. We'll use the ops income, but we could probably swap that out for someone who gives more... like the Azeris are probably better in that circumstance, because she's not really using espionage. So we'll unequip. We'll give her the Azeris. We'll give her the Circus Org, which is bringing our ops income up to a comfortable 30 a month. So she's looking good. She's only at command 2, but we can make that command 12. And I'm tempted to do it, so let's unequip that. Sorry, but right now we're not assaulting alien assets, but we might want to coup people. So we'll equip the special activities section. She's now at 12 command, which is more respectable. If we keep piling on command boosts, she doesn't need any base stats. We'll start leveling her eventually, but 12 is okay, and she's suddenly gotten better at everything else. And we can move those guys around, the SAS, the special activities section, in order to give boosts to the people who need it. Here, let's get the, so watch, we're doing plus 0.42 water a month. That's plus 0.46 now, thanks to that 9% boost. Let's level administration here. What else is available? That would give her public campaign, which might be useful. So she can now do public campaigns, which is a good thing to do when you have nothing else to do. We'll keep giving the astronaut more admin. I think the Seer Foundation is better. He doesn't have any sort of stats or anything amazing about him, but he's solid enough that we're going to keep him for the moment. But he's another candidate who we might get rid of. He's high persuasion. He's good to keep around, but we don't need to keep him around. This is not a good org, but it's better than nothing, so we'll keep it equipped. And Antonella is already a good administrator, but we will give her that. Counselor is okay, but not better than just getting more persuasion. Those stats are useful for pushing you up later on. Alright, I'm happy with that. Good improvements, good talk.
Things are cooling
Stats
off.
are much better. We're getting more money net from councillors than nations, but that's because there's a variety of reasons for that. Mostly the fact that I'm not doing any spoils, which is the main mechanism you use to get money from nations. I've just got this basic funding amount.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Starting to win back the United States, but that's going to take a while to do. Why'd you crack me down in Turkey? Okay, I was already cracked down, but okay. Keep the Russians rolling towards Finland. Be not alarmed. Local economic boom. Let's keep the good times rolling in Canada.
We have
Nice.
found something.
Ha, you failed on a undefended, cracked down executive slot. You suck. It's alright, I'm going to invade you soon again anyway.
Where do you need me?
Leonardo Blimpada. I want to know who this councillor who's messing with me in Europe
Eyes
is.
on target.
What's the up?
And I want to keep stabilizing Mexico
make
because
things
Mexico is turning out to be oddly productive because we've been able to mostly fix it. We're getting it towards that lovely midpoint for cohesion. The economy's suffering a little bit, but we're bringing democracy and stability and all that up, so I'm happy with that for the moment. Mexico is allowed to just spend 100% of its resources making itself better.
I think we had a breakthrough.
20th Guards is almost where it needs to be. And once the army is pre-positioned, I think we can attack Finland. The problem is going to be Finland is allied with the European Union, which means in order to make that work, we're going to have to make sure Russia isn't allied with the... See, that's a problem, because it then means we can't pull Russia into everyone else's wars, but I can
Order is
probably
returning.
live with that.
We've moved the needle.
Okay, Alien Origins. Okay, here we are. So this is definitely spoilers, but it's early spoilers, so here we go. We've significantly extended our ability to watch and gather intelligence. In the process, we've discovered a number of alien habitats in the Kuiper Belt. It seems our visitors have been here for some time. So we only discovered the aliens when they crashed into the planet, but they've clearly been out there for a while because we weren't just watching random spots in the Kuiper Belt, because why would we? Observation of their HABs along with re-examination of older imagery taken before has confirmed their local alien operations. At some point, aliens built HABs, launched ships that crashed down on Earth. Given that it seems impossible that complex life would have evolved in the frozen outer reach of the solar system, and B, the alien ships appear to have been partially constructed of extrasolar material, we believe the aliens arrived here from another star system. We've got three leading theories as to how they accomplished this. They came here via slower-than-light interstellar spacecraft, which would probably have been very large. We have not seen any evidence of such a mothership so far. Secondly, the aliens could have arrived long ago and recently awakened from hibernation, or they've been constructed somehow out of raw materials. We've got no explanation for how that could be possible, but we've played XCOM Terror from the Deep, so we're going to include it as a hypothesis. And 3, they've developed some sort of faster-than-light transport, such as an Alcubierre drive or traversable wormholes. That theory seems fanciful, but the possibility of long-dormant aliens or generational ships seem equally unlikely. So we don't know how they got here. We just know that they've probably been here for a while. They brought some stuff from outside the solar system, and most of their stuff was built here. What do I want to research elsewhere? I mean, delivery of HAB modules by 10%, it's a little bit late now. It only would have cut about 30 days off my stuff. Improved maintenance procedures is a nice one. Devolved Space Command for the 2MC is also useful, although I can just invest on the planet with it. I'm going to get Space Tugs. And I'm going to go to Mars. I'm going to go to Mars 4. And I'm going to launch the mine, which is going to cost 13 boost. And I'm going to launch a fission pile. Just because it's still going to be quicker to launch it now than wait for the construction module and then commence construction. So we've got 4 mines in construction on Mars, all of which are considerably better than the mines we've got going on the Moon. We're starting to run into mission control problems, but I'm investing very heavily in mission control on Earth. Like, I imagine my nations are pretty close. Yeah, the US will finish one soon. Canada's most of the way through finishing one. Europe's only about halfway to their next point. Russia's not very far towards its next point. And good old Australia is about a third of the way through. That point really annoys me. But what I can always do is I can declare war on the Australia again and just throw them out. Like, I can do a friendly invasion where I get the Australians to deliberately, like we did with Greece, right? I can get Australia because I control the executive. I can get the Prime Minister to just go out there and go, Americans all suck. We are the worst people ever. My government should be deposed. The Americans will go, hey, this guy said he's the worst and his government should be deposed. Send the army over, throw it out. And what that's really doing is emptying the legislature. So basically, Parliament's full of alien lovers, but the Prime Minister, or maybe even just the Governor General, because of the weird way Australia works. Yeah, there's some strange stuff that could be going on there. Alright, they're continuing to waste influence and focus on Turkey. I really need to decide soon how I'm going to approach this Finland question. Is it really worth breaking the alliance between Russia and the EU and the United States? I'm not sure. Oh, someone else has come into LEO. It's a destroyer. So here's an alien warship, by the way, and this is going to be important to reference later. You don't know what all of their modules are, but you can get an idea. So, this is an alien warship. It's got a Delta V. It's spent about 300,000 KPS. 300 KPS in order to get here. It's got a cruise acceleration, max combat acceleration of 2.8 Gs. It's equipped with a alien violet laser cannon and side-mounted violet laser batteries. It's got nose armor, but no lateral armor. It's got some tail armor. It's alien exotic, alien diamondoid tendril radiator. I don't know. A fusion torch for an engine. Pretty freaky sort of stuff. But keep in mind, the point here is that it has 807 combat value. If I was to design a quick ship, so design a ship class, let's design an escort, let's make it a fighter, I'll give it 2 missile launchers because that might be the approach that I take. We'll give it a really basic engine, drive, 1 engine, 1 propellant tank. We'll give it no armor. And yes, I will build ships within the demo time. That is something I've pledged to do. We'll give it 1 water heat sink. I think it needs a battery. Cool. 28 combat value. Cool. Turns out that just strapping a bunch of naval guns onto a tin can and sending it to orbit isn't up there for someone who's got a fusion torch for an engine and a bunch of laser cannons as their primary weapons.
If Lee's Meitner and
Alright, we've done solid core fission. which means in order to get to fission pulse, we should probably pick up electromagnetic propulsion. Oh, and we're also going to need diamondoids. Okay, well, let's grab electromag propulsion, because that'll be handy. I've decided it's probably not, for the moment, it's probably not worth it breaking the Russian alliance with the EU and America in order to get Finland. Although, that said, I could, if I was willing to piss off the initiative, I could repeat that approach of using the Russians to also get Norway, so we could close out the entire Scandinavian section. Anyway, this one's run pretty long, so I probably won't go that much longer. This will be the last episode where I show every action I take, I think. I might start cutting things in the future. We've deployed a whole bunch of stuff to Mars. The soonest that any stuff will get there is, I think, the end of 2025. Some of this will finish in November, some of this will finish in December. We're only in April, but definitely next episode we will get our stuff on Mars complete. We've foiled the Iranian nuclear weapons program. We've learned a bit about the aliens. We've got our fancy org. We've improved our council considerably, I think. Who's available to steal from? Oh, yeah, steal project from the servants. I'm absolutely going to steal free science.
We must persuade the people.
We're also starting to get the Americans to like us again, which is important considering that our strategy basically relies on using their army to beat stick the servants wherever they appear around the world. Okay, so the Russian army is going to hang out on the Finnish border until I decide what to do with them. Maybe that's a topic for the comments, what you want me to do. Is it worth that? We've unlocked outpost kits. People have asked me I was watching Remy's stream, Remy Down Under Gaming stream, what you can do other than launching outposts from Earth or constructing them from existing construction posts, is you can also design ships. I haven't done the project. Basically, you can if you design a big enough ship with enough delta V and engine power, you can put a module on it, which is basically a packed up version of an outpost, and you can carry the outpost to a planet, which means it's sometimes faster than boosting it from Earth, and you can do it before you've sent a probe out there. So it's another way of expanding outwards, other than relying on boosting stuff from Earth the way that I'm currently doing. But I think I'm doing okay. I've got 3 lunar bases set. I've got 4 Martian bases set. I might even be able to support maybe 1 more with boost from Earth, and the rest I need to wait until the construction outpost arises. I've got mission control problems, but I'm working on it. I'll be adding 3 or 4 points, and if I ever get really desperate for mission control, I can grab the devolved space command for the instant +2. You only need 2 mission control to run a mining base, 1 for the hub and 1 for the actual mine itself. So let's just finish this turn and then chop it there. We won't build any ships this episode. We've just gone to Mars. Next episode we will get to Mars. We can now do nuclear freighters, which accelerates the delivery of HAB modules by 15% and reduces the boost cost of sending stuff from Earth to beyond Earth orbit. So this will make sending stuff to Mars cheaper. It's very expensive. It'll also speed up delivery. I think this might be worth it because this also speeds up HAB delivery. So let's do that first, space tugs, and then nuclear freighters, which is kind of the next one. Because if we decide to go to Mercury, or more importantly, if we decide to go to Ceres, because there's a whole crap ton of water on Ceres, those will both be quite useful. So I'll do space tugs and I'll do nuclear freighters. Right, basically at the moment we have been, absolutely imposed sanctions on China.
I think I found something.
We'll steal military science lab. Because mostly what we've been doing is we're brute forcing this. We've made reusable rockets and better chemical rockets, but basically our strategy, there's no nuance. We're sending dozens of old Soyuz and new SpaceX rockets. We're just spamming chemical rockets into the atmosphere to lift weight. These technologies are about having smarter ways in order to do that, rather than brute forcing it. What we've done is we've taken over most of the world's boost income. Solid core fission reactor, great. We will need that, and we will need a good engine. So maybe that's, in fact, solid core fission reactor. It's cheap, But at the moment, our spacecraft are using like fuel cells, the way current spacecraft do. We want to put nuclear reactors on them. Man, they keep cracking down in Turkey. It's already... And this is because multiple factions are targeting it. And as a result, they're getting confused. There are abductions in Atlanta. We should go deal with that. But it will be a next episode thing. Terror from the depths. Eerie glow. Okay, so we can either... Things damage Mexico really badly, or we can send in the Coast Guard. Coast Guard vessels being attacked, sunk by bizarre sea creatures, is spreading rapidly on social media, causing widespread panic and total suspension of commercial activity. Alien megafauna, rampaging mega... Okay, so there's a giant alien monster rampaging in Monterrey, and it appears to be moving to Dallas. It'll get there in 6 days. So I don't know how dangerous that is, but I'm guessing it's reasonably dangerous. So you guys all signed up for the US military. How about instead of shooting Turks, you go shoot some giant Godzilla shit? Do I need to send the French? You know what? For good measure, they're not as high tech level as I am. You can see the US has already gone from Miltech 4.5 to 4.6 and keeps climbing because of this military investment that I've got going. I might even dial that up further. But, you know, the French will want to be included. So that's a fantastic way to end the stream. A Cthulhu monster climbed out of the ocean in Mexico and is now going to destroy Dallas, and the US military is going to make a stand against it. And Morocco's leader is apparently being suddenly pro-alien. Oh, look at that. I love it. Geez, I bet they don't have any mind control powers. Alright. On that happy note, giant Godzilla monster has arrived. Look at that. So the US army is engaging the giant alien megafauna. We'll see how First Armored does while it waits for the other US forces to arrive. Thank you for joining me as always. Our space economy expansion continues to go well. Our national economies are great. We're defending our interests. We stopped the Servants nuclear weapons program in Iran, but I'm going to have to keep an eye on what nations the Servants have just to try and keep the nukes out of their hands. Like, for example, they're at 25 out of 80 in Japan. If Japan keeps working on nuclear weapons, we might have to go liberate Japan, again, to keep the nukes out of the Servants' hands as long as possible. And I see a return trip to Turkey in our near future. Thanks for joining me as always, and I'll see you again soon.